Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Medium Difficulty Podcast. I am here joined with Spiderstags and Da Bears, our
So,
new guest member, Sean. Welcome
how's
to
it
the
going?
program, Sean.
Nice to be here. Nice to be here, Jim.
Yeah. Hopefully you don't screw up. Hopefully you'll be like a permanent member.
Oh, dude, no, I'm here to screw up, you know?
Ah, it's awesome.
I'd love to be
Andrew,
permanent, though, too.
Andrew, you're going to need to do something else now.
Yeah.
All right. Let's jump right in. I've been playing a crap ton of this game. I know, Sean, you have too.
Yes.
Resident Evil 2 Remake. Um, all right, first of all, we'll start off. Sean, what do you think of the game so far?
I actually started my third playthrough today, but I've literally been playing it nonstop. And every time I play it, I find like I know more. I'm going through it faster and faster. I'm trying to get my time down, but I love it. It's so fun.
Nice. Now, I know, Andrew, I know you started a little bit later than us. Have you played any more? How far have you gotten?
I've gotten to the part where Mr. X chases me and I stop playing because it scares the shit out of me. I'll just turn a corner and you'll be standing there and I'm like, nope.
Yeah.
Can we talk about the difficulty that Andrew's been playing on now?
On the beginner.
I didn't want to throw him under the bus. Although I did watch you play on your stream, and I actually don't notice too big of a difference between normal and I guess they call it assisted. Other than I think you get a little bit more ammo than we do. And maybe a couple more hits, but it still is pretty intense. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Listen, I don't like it regardless. I don't like scary games. So if I have to play it on beginner, I'm playing it on beginner because it still scares the crap out of me, man.
I will say, I'll admit myself, I've been going back and replaying the old Resident Evils, and I have been playing them on easy difficulty, mainly to try to get through them and get through the story and stuff like that, and because of the controls. But I won't throw you under the bus that bad, but you gotta
Nah,
play on.
I will be the first to admit I play on easy because that game terrifies me to death.
Definitely. You brought up Mr. X, and one of my favorite things about Mr. X is the sound design that this game has. And I got to ask, are you guys playing on headphones, surround sound? Like, how are you guys playing this?
Yeah, I first started playing in headphones. It was like nighttime. I had the lights out. I had my headset going, and it was a terrifying experience. Dude, the footsteps alone, it increases the intensity of the game. You feel like you need to run out into the hallway, and then when you run out into the hallway, there's the liquor, and then it's just no matter what you do, you're boned.
Yeah. Now, Andrew, I guess your headphones, because obviously I watched you stream. How is it coming across on the headphones?
Terrifying.
Have either one of you guys tried the Dolby Atmos or like the 5.1 surround? Like, because I know it asks you when you start off, like what audio setup you're doing.
I actually went with the surround sound from my soundbar as the sound setup, which I should have switched to headphones immediately when I put them on, but either way.
Yeah. No, I did the same. I kept it 5.1 and then used my little amp thing to go to my headphones. Other than that, I mean, I'm in love with the game. The puzzles, they're kind of like the original ones. They mixed them up a little bit. I like them, though. I think it fits. I like that they try to explain that the police station used to be a museum, which is why they have all these crazy, ridiculous puzzles.
Yeah, see, so all that was brand new to me. I've never played the original Resident Evil 2, so this is like a brand new game to me. So just going into it and like, you know, I didn't know anything, so I had to like learn everything for the first time, and I thought everything was pretty easy to get down. All the puzzles were fun. Everything like, it was a good difficulty. I feel like for a first time starter in the genre. I mean, I've played other Resident Evils, but that was like when it was action oriented.
Yeah. I mean, you guys got anything else to add to this? I mean,
Well, I'll say this: if you're debating on whether getting it for the $60, it's well worth it. Definitely a lot of gameplay. It's definitely short, but you get two stories in one. You get Claire's and you get Leon's. So
yeah, and I mean, there is
definitely worth it.
There is the free DLC coming out in like 2 weeks
Yeah.
too. So that
Yeah,
is
I can't wait for that.
So you have that too. So you're definitely it's definitely worth the investment if you're debating on it.
yeah. And I mean a
Also,
little. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
sorry. Also, the fourth Survivor. I don't know. Do you mess around with that, Jim?
I did. I suck at it.
That is so fun.
It is.
Trying to get out of this, like trying to get out of the police station and the sewer at a time trial. It's awesome.
Yeah, Andrew, I don't know if you know about it, but they give you what seems like a lot of ammo, but you pretty much have to go through every single part of the map to get back out. And I have done it twice, gotten very far, like I could see the end, and I did not make it both times. But it's a straight like 15 minute to 20 minutes to get out or something like that. Like,
Yeah, not worth it. Never doing that.
I will say the one thing I do miss from this game that I really wish it had, if you guys played Revelations 1 or 2, they put a raid mode in there. And I think they had it in Resident Evil 4. But it's just pretty much they just launch enemies at you and you shoot them and you get points.
It was like the mercenaries mode, right? In Resident Evil 4. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I really like that because that added a lot of like replayability to it.
Yeah, I remember playing. I played as every character, like going through. That was always fun.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, I will move on here because I have created a little pop quiz game for you two based on Resident Evil. Now, this is kind of, I guess Sean will have a little bit more of a, I guess it'll maybe a little easier for you. I don't know.
I started playing at 4, yeah, so.
Okay, well, we're going to play, is this Resident Evil character real or fake?
All right.
This could be a character in the game, an enemy in the game. I got 10 of them here for you guys. I'm going to go through. I'm going to ask you both if they're real or fake. You both guess. We'll tally up who's got the most points at the end.
All right, let's do it.
All right.
I'm gonna lose.
This is pretty hard. This is well, I don't know. We'll see. All right. All right. We'll start off with Andrew for this one. First one, Carlos Oliveira.
I'm gonna say real.
All right, Sean, what's your answer on that one?
I'm also going to say real.
All right, you guys are right. That is real. He is from Resident Evil 3. All right, 1-1. Number 2.
I'm the best.
Josh Stone.
I'm gonna say false.
I'm going to double down on that.
What was that one,
I'm
Sean?
going to double down on that. I'm going to also say false.
He is real. He's from Resident Evil 5.
Damn it.
All right, let's switch it up here. I'm going to make Sean go first on this one.
Still.
All right. Bob Wesker.
False.
I'm gonna say false
Andrew?
as well.
You are both correct. That is a fake. They do introduce a lot of Weskers into the Resident Evil.
Yeah.
There's no Bob. All right, we'll stick with Sean again with this one. The character's name is Agent.
I'm going to say not real.
I'm gonna say real.
Andrew pulls ahead. It is real. It's from
All right.
Resident Evil 6. There's a character just called.
You suck, Sean. You
He's
suck.
clearly Googling.
He's probably Googling them. All right, we're going to switch back to Andrew on this one. Nyx. Nyx.
I'm gonna say not real.
I'm going to say not real.
He is real. He's from Resident Evil Outbreak.
I don't even know that game existed.
Yeah, it's a PS2 game. And it was actually online co-op. It was like one of the first ones. Actually, it's pretty cool by today's standards. It's like a Left 4 Dead type style. All right, Andrew again with this one. The Los Gatos.
I'm gonna say real.
Sean?
I'm going to say false.
It is false. Los Gatos are the cats in Spanish.
There we go.
I know what it meant, but I don't know.
Oh, did you know what I meant?
I can speak Spanish. Hola, ¿cómo está?
All right, Sean first on this one.
All right.
Giant Moth.
No.
I'm gonna say real.
It is real.
Yes.
From Resident Evil Dark Side Chronicles. for the Wii, which is an on-rail shooter. All right, Sean again.
All right.
El Gigante.
That's real.
Andrew.
Real. He seemed pretty confident.
Yeah, I was too confident on that. I gave my hand.
You are both correct.
Yeah.
All right. All right, now we're going to go Andrew for number 9 here, and then we'll go back to Sean for number 10 here. All right, so Andrew, number 9, Fredo Serra.
Not real.
Not real.
You are both correct. That is a fake one. All right. Sean, you need to get this one right to tie. If not, Andrew, by sheer dumb luck, wins this one.
All right, let's go for the tie. Let's go for the tie.
The Queen Worm.
Real.
What was it?
The Queen Worm.
I'm gonna say. I mean, I can say real, and regardless, I win.
That's correct. That is true.
But I'm gonna take my chances. I'll say false.
He's going balls to the wall, and he is correct. It is fake.
I thought about it as soon as I said it. It was the Queen Leech, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's like the Queen Leech. Yep, yeah.
I thought so.
All right. Congratulations, Andrew. You win this round of real or fake. All right. We're only 15 minutes in, so we're going to keep on going here.
That's dope.
All right. Next up, I have been messing around with this, and Sean, you have too, and Andrew, I think you said you just bought it. Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yes.
Start off, Sean, again. What do you think of it so far?
So the combat is insane compared to, because I really haven't played like any of the like 1.5 or like, you know, like the like remasters or anything like that. But based off of 1 and 2, the combat in that, I think the combat in 3 is just fluid. It's easy to get from enemy to enemy. The lock-on system I feel like is great. Controls are awesome. I'm having a lot of fun with the game so far. I've only made it to Twilight Town so far, so I only just made it into like Kingdom Hearts 3. But you know, I'm working my way through slowly. But I love the series. I've always have, and it's awesome so far.
Now I am jumping into the series for the kind of the first time. I know Andrew. I think you kind of are too. I think we both bought the collection of like 1 and 2 and all the other ones, and
I played the first one and got stuck in Alice in Wonderland, and
it's same here. And that was the problem I had with them going back from today's standards and playing them. The camera on the old ones are just god awful.
Yeah, that's a massive complaint I've been hearing. Yeah, on the remasters.
Like like the problem is there's the part where you have to like in the first one where you're in Alice in Wonderland and you have to keep jumping up on a table to get to the guy, and you can't turn the camera. So, like, you're jumping and your guy's missing because you can't see where you're going. So, like, I was like, I'm not playing this anymore.
Yeah, because he's, like, up on a table, isn't he? And,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It's like a big, like, I don't even know what he is.
And every time you fail, they replay that same cut screen, and you can't skip it. But I did get a little bit further than I remember, but not too much. But I recently watched a YouTube video of the storyline according to like this guy, and I still have no idea what the hell is going on in this game.
Dude, it's a total eye crosser. Like they once they start getting into like, you know, like the main villain is like 5 different people at once. Like, but he's like building himself together. Like it's like it really is crazy. But it's the deep lore. I like it. I like to follow. I like you. I watched the YouTube video. It was like a 50-minute long video that I watched, just explaining like every little detail, and I was just like, oh, I love it.
Yeah, and I mean the combat in this game is great. Like, it is fun. Like I love that. But the one complaint I have, because I haven't played the other ones like as much, is the cut screens in this. There are a lot of them.
Yes.
I've made it
Gotcha.
2 extra worlds in. I've done the Toy Story one, and I'm on Tangled now, as well as the Hercules one that you start off with. And I've played for about 8 hours, and I think 4 hours of it have been cut screens.
I think they're just trying to fill everyone who kind of is jumping into the series for the first time, because there's a lot of like, you know, like backtracking in like their conversations and all that, kind of showing, oh, there's backstory to like why we're here, what we're doing, why we got to go talk to Hercules, all that.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, we're definitely going to talk about this one more coming up as we get like a little bit more time, I guess, to play with it and stuff like that.
Mine's currently downloading right now, so I will be able to play that. And
speaking of downloading, I recently updated my internet, and it is so much faster, and I love it. Just wanted to throw that in there.
it's a beautiful feeling.
Yeah, but no, I'm definitely looking forward to playing more of this one and talk about it. All right. Next game here. We're just going to keep on going because I got a feeling this last segment is going to take up a lot of our time. Andrew, you've tried out the Anthem Beta. And go ahead and rant because I have too, and I know we share a lot of the same complaints on this.
So people have hyped up Anthem as a game that might be a quote-unquote Destiny killer, and something that can, or at least compete with Destiny. As a comparison, when I played Destiny for the first time, all I kept saying was, "Oh my God, this game is incredible!" It's like a mixture of two games that I have loved playing in my life: a massive like the MMO of WoW mixed with Halo, and it was incredible. So on stream, I decided, let me play the Anthem demo. And I had no issues with the servers like other people had. So there's no complaints there. The thing that stinks is they want it to be like Destiny, but it's more cartoonish. It's more like if you mixed Mass Effect with Monster Hunter, but made it boring, that's what this is. And it felt way too cartoonish to me. And it felt just repetitive. Like I had to keep going and talk to the same guys and like walking through their main like town. You were so slow, you couldn't go fast. And then it didn't tell you how to do anything. So like all the teammates that I got randomly matchmaked with, just were flying around and I didn't know how to fly. So like I'm sitting there, I'm falling behind and I'm missing out on these objectives. So like maybe that's something they change, but for me, it's enough already that it's boring. I'm just not into it. It's not a game that I'm going to purchase.
Mm-hmm. Sean, have you tried this at all?
No, I actually just finished downloading it before I came over here. Andrew was telling me earlier at work how disappointed he was with the initial demo. So I kind of wanted to see for myself. It didn't get done in time until just about now, but I am going to go home and try it out as soon as I get out of here.
Nice.
Let me just say, though, I was extremely looking forward to it. Destiny is one of my favorite games. Like Destiny 2, I still play to this day. Like, I love games like that where you can go out and you do missions or you do whatever and loot and find different things. Like, that's, like, one of my favorite kinds of games. And this game was just like, I sat there, I played it for an hour and a half on stream. And the entire time, I'm like, I got to end this. Like, it's paining me to keep playing this right now. Like, it just was not fun.
I did not play, I don't think as long as you, but I jumped in today because I was like, as you said, you want to talk about it. So I'm like, let me jump in there. And I actually tried last night, and I went in there, I watched all the cut screens and, like, the tutorials, if you can call them that. But it was really heavy text. It was like giant blocks of like, this is what you do, and I was just kind of just skipping through because I was like, I don't have time to read all of this like backstory and everything that I'm doing. But yeah, you are right. Flying, I was like, wait, they never told me how to fly that I saw. I mean, I could. And me and you, I know, both played on Xbox One X. The PS4 version is actually apparently better.
Which
PS4
shocks
Pro,
me because EA and Xbox have a very tight-knit relationship.
Mm-hmm. It's PS4 Pro and the Xbox One X. Both run at the same resolution, and the PS4 Pro holds a more stable frame rate. And it has the option where you can bump it down to 1080p and play at almost 60 frames a second, which is the issue on X. That it's like around like between like 20 and 30, and it rarely hits 30. But yeah, the menu system I found really clunky. Like just trying to get in there and play with somebody, it was weird. It was like you had to hit X on the mission you wanted to play,
Hmm.
select what type of mode you wanted to go into, and then like back out and then like hit like start mission. Like it was really weird. It didn't make much sense. But I mean that can be fixed. I've heard I was reading online today that this is apparently a 6-week old build of the game, but that doesn't really give me much confidence. I don't think they can fix all the issues
I
by
agree.
launch.
So obviously there was a lot of hype for this game. A lot of people seem to, reviewers and all that, or, people who tested the game out, they seem to like the game. Do you think this is just a product of a bad demo and like a bad marketing strategy? I mean, Battlefield came out, the beta, it did okay. Not a lot of people were thrilled with it, but I mean, the game's thriving now. I mean, I feel like this could be just a bad product as a demo. Obviously, you're not going to I don't know.
Yeah, no, you are right. I think for me to jump in, because I mean, I'll give the story a chance because like it starts you off on level 10.
Okay.
But I really need to see like for reviews for me is if they fix the frame rate issues, because it was very like herky jerky to play. It didn't feel smooth. Like it almost kind of felt a little nauseating, especially because you got to fly around and you're supposed to be on the swivel and like, be able to bomb guys from the sky and then go and, take a couple guys out with your gun. And it was freezing up and stuff like that. Like, well, sort of.
Okay.
Regardless, I'm not playing it anymore. So
yeah,
they lost me.
Yeah, it's just because like it kind of reminded me of playing Destiny 1 for the first time, which I agree. I really like Destiny 1. I put a lot of time into that, and same with Destiny 2.
Yeah, same here.
But both of them, like with the beta and the alpha, when I tried them, the complaint everybody had with them was, oh, this is kind of repetitive, which turned out to be the problem with Destiny. They just didn't have enough content in time.
Yeah.
So, all right. So for our next segment here, I mean, do you guys have anything else to add about Anthem?
No, I'm all good.
All right, I think it's another one we'll talk about in the future. All right, so this next one, I don't know if we're going to do this right. This is something we were texting about. I'm calling this one, I guess, 2-minute game pitch. It's not really 2 minutes, but we made up some rules. Each one of us is going to take a video game system publisher. Andrew is taking Xbox, as spurred on by his comments last week that Sean took major offense to. Sean is taking the PlayStation system, and I will take Nintendo, which I think is unfair to the both of you because I'm just going to dominate this.
I don't know about that.
Well, if you're so confident, Jim, why don't you go first?
I can do that. But the other rules is we each set up guidelines of like AAA titles that we couldn't use. So, for instance, for me, I can't use any games from the Super Mario Brothers franchise, Legend of Zelda, and I guess Metroid is the other one. Sean, what were the ones that we picked for you? You couldn't use.
I cannot use God of War. I cannot use Uncharted, and I cannot use Last of Us.
And Andrew was Halo,
Gears of War, and
that's all that system has.
I guess Forza. I don't know. We'll let you go away with 2 this time. All right, I'll start this off. So 9:50 right now. All right, I want to put this to bed right now. I'm going to go way back, a classic game that I grew up with. And if you guys know what this is, I don't even know if you can even see it. This is the N64 Rumble Pack.
Mm-hmm.
And you got this game. You got that packaged with Star Fox 64.
Ooh.
And Star Fox 64
is a
game that holds up today. Like, they redid this for the 3DS a couple years back. They didn't change a thing. They kept the game the same, gameplay identical. To me, this game is infinitely replayable. I can play this thing 100 times. I can do a barrel roll in my sleep. it had one of the first games I ever played that had multi-tracks you could go. I remember it blew my mind. It was like, no, if you fly underneath all of those bridges on Corneria, Falco will lead you through the waterfall and you'll go fight another bad guy, another boss in there, which then led you to like the Aqua Planet. And then you use a submarine, a tank. Like for a game you could beat in like under an hour or two, it did really just hold up today and have so many different ways to keep playing it. All right, which one of you ladies want to go next?
Reader.
Okay, all right. I guess I'll take over. All right, so for from the PlayStation franchise that I chose Horizon Zero Dawn, which is an action RPG on the PlayStation 4, obviously. You start off as a character named Aloy, who is the female protagonist, and you just go around and you solve the mystery as to how there is life in a post-apocalyptic world where the world essentially ended. You need to find out why everything is going on. There's like robotic dinosaurs. It's a crazy game, great story, beautiful game design. Like you could literally stand up on a cliff and just look out and just be in awe at the beauty of this game. I had so much fun with the combat in that game. It really is a player's choice kind of game. There's tons of weapons that you can use. There's a slingshot where you can shoot little balls that like stun your enemies, where you can go up and attack either with your staff. You can use certain bow and arrow. You can use certain arrows to take off certain like body parts of the dinosaurs, revealing weak points. You can use a rope gun to tether them to the ground. Whatever you wanted to do in that game, it allowed you to do, and it was so fun. Obviously, there was a setup for a sequel. I can't wait for this to be a franchise for the future. I'll definitely be playing this for as long as they keep making games. I'll definitely keep playing Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah, definitely love that game.
Dude.
Got overshadowed, unfortunately, by Legend of Zelda.
Yes, it did. But like,
if it was another year, that game would have won Game of the Year. Like, it
yes, 100%. And Breath of the Wild absolutely deserved Game of the Year, but obviously close runner-up. And the games are two very similar games, but the runner-up, obviously, Horizon Zero Dawn.
All right.
I like that one. You both had really good ones.
What do you got? This is the we don't know what's coming from him.
He's breaking out the big guns.
So I don't know if you guys 100% are going to count this one.
Let's see what you got.
Because technically it released on Xbox and then eventually came to Windows. So
I'll count it.
Yeah, that's fun.
So I'm talking like a year or two later it came to Windows. Like it originally launched directly for Xbox.
Okay.
RPG named Fable.
Ooh.
All right.
Fable. I'm not going to go into as much detail. I don't think I need to explain to people what Fable is. I think everyone knows what Fable is. RPG game from Lionhead and Microsoft Studios. That game launched my whole. Hold on, I gotta sneeze. Launched my whole universe into RPG games. I never really played RPGs before that, and I played every Fable one after that. I was going to use Fable 2, but that launched with Windows as well when it first came out. But
I actually didn't know that. I would have let you.
Was, I feel like a lot of people don't even know Fable was exclusive to Xbox because they just played it when they were kids, and you never really remember what you played it on. But yeah, I mean, Fable is by far one of my favorite games of all time, and that whole series in general.
Fable is the game that got me to play Xbox, the original one.
Yeah.
And technically by lies it got me in there because Peter Molyneux, or however you pronounce his last name, was touting that game, saying you could do anything in that game, and that sold me on it. I was so excited to play that game, and it was good. Like, I will say Fable 2 is one of my all-time favorite games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, dude.
I forgot.
I'm sorry, Jim.
No, you're right. I was just going to say, I totally forgot about that franchise for Microsoft, and I hope they do come back with more for them.
Nah, dude, that was definitely a good choice of game, dude. Fable 2, that was definitely a huge launching point for me to even get Xbox 360 when I was a kid. Obviously, Call of Duty was the main catalyst in that, but now Fable 2 was
I think
phenomenal
personally,
game.
I think Fable 3 is my favorite.
Really?
The only reason I say that is because I played Fable 3
Shit.
way
Hold
after
on.
release, and
Uh,
brought me back to when I was actually
yeah.
back into that game. So I think that one recaptured my interest. That was right around Skyrim was coming out. I replayed Fable. So
I just had a panic attack. I thought I forgot to hit start record on this thing, and luckily I did. I was like, they're going to kill me. We got to do this all over again.
That wouldn't have been that big of a deal.
I was like, I called it pretty early, but nah, I did record. We're good.
So we got to vote now, right? Is that
Yeah, we got to vote. I don't know if you guys got anything to write on or something like that. I don't know how we should do this evenly. Something like just write your vote on it, and then we'll hold it up to the screen and be like, that's what I vote for. I don't know.
I don't know if I have a writing utensil here.
Yeah, I could do that.
And I mean, the winner gets nothing. It's just
It's just pride.
Yeah. And maybe we'll keep this the same for the next podcast or two. Maybe we'll change up a little bit.
Are we ready?
Yeah, do you want to do one at a time, or you want to just do all at the same time?
I love mine. I don't care.
I had nothing to write with, so
it's backwards.
You want Horizon?
Oh, there you go. Oh, okay.
I gave it to Fable. So Sean, it's up to you. Who did you give it to?
I'm going to be honest, and I'm actually going to give
it to Star Fox.
No, I'm actually going to give it to Fable. I'm honestly going to give
Let's go.
I'm honestly going to give it to Fable, dude. It was honestly one of my favorite franchises growing up. I'm not unlike you. I did not like 3. I love 2 though. 2 is a game I put so many hours into.
Yeah.
I did like 3.
It's like that.
3.
That's what I said. I said earlier when we were texting. I said I got the best game.
Yeah, you did. You kept it secret. You knew mine ahead of time, but
I thought I was going to have you with Star Fox 64.
Horizon, still to this day, as much as I literally only own a PlayStation because of Horizon, because of Last of Us, because of God of War, all the exclusives. Anything else I play on Xbox, but all the exclusives, that's the only reason that I have a PlayStation 4. And Horizon is a big driving factor of that. I actually was back in playing Horizon a couple of weeks ago just because that game is so good.
Now, see, I didn't have the Frozen Wild. I think it's the Frozen Wildlands is the DLC. I have not played it yet. I never got around to playing it. So I think the game's only $15 right now on PSN, and that's for the complete game, not game edition, unfortunately, but it's the complete edition, which I'm probably going to pick that up just so I can get back into the DLC. But the photo mode in that game, I set my PlayStation backgrounds as Horizon Zero Dawn's pictures that I've taken. The game was just mind blowing, seriously.
Yeah, I still can't believe it.
I agree with Jimmy. That game got heavily overshadowed.
No,
not his fault.
100%. If you didn't pick Fable, I don't know what else you could have picked that would have stopped me from picking Star Fox, because that franchise for me, I mean, it was one of the first games I ever played on the N64.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully there's a new Star Fox this year. There's still that rumor of that racing one, which I don't know.
My favorite N64 game of all time is GoldenEye.
Oh, come on.
GoldenEye.
That's one of the best ones ever.
Speaking of Nintendo, this wasn't in our little lineup here, but I'm going to throw it in. What do you guys think about them pretty much canceling Metroid and restarting the whole thing over?
I actually saw that. Never was a big Metroid guy, so to me it's not that big of a deal. But I was looking forward to playing it on Switch, so it's a little bit of a bummer. But Nintendo has the games rolling out, man. So we're supposed to get Pokemon this year. So there's enough that Nintendo's going to come out with to hold us over. So I honestly don't think it's that big of a deal, but you know.
Yeah.
Yes,
Did you?
same as Andrew. I've never been a big fan of the Metroids. I mean, not that I haven't been a big fan. I never really played it that much. I agree. I don't see it as that big of a deal. I could see if you're a hardcore fan of the series, it being maybe a little disheartening that they would reboot the franchise. But I mean, I'm always down for a new start on anything.
I mean, I don't really care. Like, it stinks that it's not going to come out this year, but like, I mean, any game, I'd rather them cancel it if it is going to be bad than putting it out. Kind of like Fallout 76.
Yeah,
Like that should have
been shelved.
That game's literally installed on my computer and has not been pressed play once.
Well, and it's the weird thing with that is like, even though Nintendo announced that, there was nobody complaining about it. Everybody's like, all right, cool, do what you got to do. We don't want to be sold a bad game. And they got positive press by canceling a game and restarting it over just because of like where we're at. And like with Anthem coming out too, it's almost like, hey, is it really going to be done next month, or should they, it goes back to the I think it was Miyamoto that said like a good game is eventually good when it's done, but a bad game will always be bad if, you release it early. Although something like, what was the PlayStation game I'm thinking of that came out and was really bad, and they just redid it. The one where you fly the spaceship around and you go to all the different.
Oh, No Man's Sky.
Yeah, No Man's Sky, because that one
They completely rebooted that game. It's not even the same game anymore.
Yeah, I actually hear a lot of people like that game now.
Mm-hmm. I still refuse to ever give them money ever again in my life.
Yeah, I mean, you advertise that falsely, it's kind of it's a no.
It was so bad.
Yeah.
But I mean, I haven't played it since like launch. I still have it sitting on my shelf, but it's all the free updates. So if I ever feel like jumping back in, I get the brand new completed game that everybody else has got. So
yeah,
that's cool. It's just with the Metroid reboot, it's just kind of weird that like Nintendo's putting out the quality games right now. Like everything they're coming out with seems to be flying off the shelves and everybody loves. But last generation with the Wii U, I mean, they couldn't get it right at all. So
except for ARMS.
I actually enjoy ARMS. I wish there was a lot more to ARMS, but I thought the gameplay mechanic was interesting. They just
ARMS is so terrible. I like the idea behind it, but no.
Yeah, no, you're definitely right. They did.
And I bought that digitally, so I'm still salty about it.
It's a glorified Wii boxing.
Yeah.
They needed a story mode with that. They needed different gameplay mechanics. But you are right. Like, the idea was good, but it was just not. That was rushed out, I think, for launch or the launch window. I'm actually looking at Fable 2 right now. I think you knew that. That's how you won. All right. So
go buy an Xbox One X. Support Microsoft.
Come on, Sony all the way. Sony all the way.
Well, and we saw possibly the PlayStation 5 this year, so we'll see what's going on with them. Like we talked about last week, missing E3.
Well, they said that all the publishers are already working on PlayStation 5 games.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you guys heard this, but I think this came out maybe yesterday, maybe a day or two. But a patent went out for an emulator.
Yep.
Yeah. So I feel like they're going to release the PlayStation 5. It's going to be now. I don't know if it's going to if you're going to be able to play PS1 game, PS2 games, PS3 games.
It has to be backwards compatible.
Yeah, it's definitely going to have backwards compatibility, but I feel like it might only be for the PlayStation 4 because they've ended a lot of like server support for a ton of games in the PS3. I mean, with the PlayStation Store now, you can get like PS2 games and all that stuff. I feel like everything will be digitally. Like you'll be able to get those games digitally, but I feel like the support will only be for PS4.
Well, speaking of like patents for emulators and stuff, they did Xbox released their their thing that they send to developers for their next console. I think last week, so pretty exciting. We might have 2 new consoles within the next year.
Yeah, man, absolutely. That's always a high point of the the decade when the new system comes out. The
Can't
new,
wait to drop $1,000 on.
oh,
2
dude, it's gonna be fantastic.
That's my favorite part. Looking at all
Speaking
that
of,
credit card debt go up.
oh god, I think paid off the PlayStation 4 finally. Um, speaking of emulators, I bought this last week or maybe a week before, and I was hoping to do more with it, but this thing absolutely sucks. I bought the PlayStation Classic.
Ooh,
Oh my
Um,
god.
I went to Best Buy. They had it for like $40 or something like that. So I was like, hey, $40.
It's not worth $10.
I'll put some ROMs on it. Oh man, like it's just how do you
no.
drop the ball that hard on that thing? I could play PS1 games easier on the Super Nintendo Classic hacked than I can with the PlayStation 1.
Yeah, absolutely. They really screwed up with
They
that.
didn't even give you a cable to plug it in your the wall. You have to buy it separate.
Well, Nintendo did that too. It's just because it's USB. It's just, they assume you're just going to plug it into your TV or something like that. But I will say, for some weird reason, it could just be my TV. I can plug the Super Nintendo Classic and the NES Classic into my TV through USB, and it powers on fine. Can't do it with the PlayStation Classic. It doesn't get enough power or something like that. So that's another thing that just ticked me off
Screw
about
the
that.
PlayStation Classic.
Uh,
I actually have a question for you guys, right? Like if we get into this new console generation, right? What if this is the final console, and what they do from now on is just support games just digitally? We get rid of.
I think that's actually what is going to happen.
I kind of hope it happens. Like if you always hear gaming is now gaming as a service over going into a store and buying.
Like at Netflix.
Yes. Like what do you guys feel about that? Because honestly, I prefer that. I feel like now.
Well, I know me and Jimmy both have Game Pass and are big fans of the Xbox Game Pass. I think Jimmy has the PlayStation Now too.
I do.
And I do as well.
Yeah, I don't have the Now. How do you like PlayStation Now?
I like PlayStation Now. I feel like you guys touched on this last week. There's not as many big titles on it. I mean, you have some newer titles like For Honor.
It's more expensive.
It is more expensive. But like I was saying earlier, there's a ton of like PlayStation 3 games, like classic games. Like you could play the entire trilogy of Sly Cooper on there.
Mm-hmm.
They have the Jack trilogy. I don't know how.
They probably have Uncharted on there.
No, they do. Yeah, they have every Uncharted on there. But I mean, like they don't have Horizon Zero Dawn on there. Like they don't have like titles like that, which I'm Xbox Game Pass has.
And Xbox Game Pass, any first party titles are available on release day on Game Pass.
Yeah, see, that's not the case.
So like Crackdown, we have on release day, and we can download it early, so it's already on the console. We can just play.
Yeah, so we don't have that luxury. It's just like Netflix. When they have a set date for a game to come out, you got to wait till say February 15th for I don't know, Resident Evil 7 to be on there. So it's
that's one of the biggest things. If they all do go digital and like a subscription service like that, I would strongly consider maybe only being one console going forward.
Oh, absolutely.
The only reason for that is, say each console say $500 each, so that's $1,000 on that. On top of, say, Xbox stays Game Pass for $10 a month. Sony stays $20 a month. Then that's an extra $30 a month I'm paying. I feel like that's not worth it to me. I'd rather just play on one console. Will I miss out on games? Yeah, but it's a sacrifice. The only thing, no matter what, I'll always get is I'll always get a Nintendo console. Always.
Nintendo, yeah. No, the Nintendo
I buy all my games digitally already, so if they do go digital, I'm not worried about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, the Nintendo console, like the Switch, is the reason why I've really made the transition to digital. Like I said last week, because it's an on-the-go thing.
Mm-hmm.
And just having all your games with you.
And it's also a pain in the ass to put those little cartridges back in, pop them out on the go. Yeah, I got chubby fingers, so it's hard for me.
I will miss cases and stuff like that. Like I love looking at them on my wall and being like, I beat all those games or something like that. But
I
I
can't
think it
even
will
tell
be.
you where my cases are right now.
See, I'm like you too, Jim. Like, I love having my, like, just looking at, like, my stack, like, holding my stack of games. I'm like, oh my God, like, so many memories. It's like going down the list, like looking at each title. That's definitely something that, like, I would miss, but I mean, I'm all about moving forward into the future, and I would definitely want subscription based.
I would be interested to see if they do something like a digital trade-in program where, like, say you buy a game digitally and you beat it and whatever, say you could turn that into store credit for $20 or something like that and use that toward your next digital game. So you still have that consumer value of buying the game and then being able to get money back for it after you're done.
Do you really think EA would let you do that?
Well, not EA, but like, or like going back to like the games as a service, you wouldn't have to ever do that because you just pay $10 a month and you can play whatever. If you don't want to play a game anymore, you just uninstall it.
Mm-hmm.
I do like the idea of games as a service, like the Game Pass model, because like if PlayStation does that, like day one, I'm there because the Xbox already sold me on that with
like that's honestly it's the best value in gaming. Like you pay $10 a month, or you can pay like during the holiday they had the card. It was like $70 for a year, so you save like $50 on the year, and you have access. I forget what it is now. I don't even know how many games they have on there.
It's like 120, yeah,
something like that. It's a lot.
Speaking of the Game Pass and the PlayStation Now, the one reason that I originally liked the Game Pass better was because it let you download the games to the system, which PlayStation Now does now. But it actually brings up because like, and like if you would ask me like 2 years ago if I'd prefer digital or physical like cases and stuff like that, I'd say physical. All the time. One of the things now with digital that Google is kind of pushing towards, and a couple other people with like PlayStation Now, is streaming, which apparently when they did the Assassin's Creed demo for people, the streaming through the Google server, if you had an internet connection decent enough, it ran perfectly. People were saying it was almost like you couldn't tell a difference between the like an actual downloaded file and the digital. And I know Microsoft is going that way with, I think it's codenamed Scarlet, where it's possibly going to be just a streaming console box that, just allows you to play everything, for a much cheaper price. And if you ask me now if I want that or the physical digital downloads, I want the digital downloads. I want the actual thing, but, we'll see where we're at in 2 years' time.
No, yeah, I agree. I mean, I've totally moved over to digital. Not that I'm saving room by not buying physical anymore, but I just hate dealing with GameStop, if I'm going to be honest.
GameStop will probably be. It's sad to say because like I don't ever want to see companies go out of business and people lose their jobs because I've been there and done that myself. But
Sports Authority.
Yeah. All right.
R.I.P.
Yes, like GameStop's probably not going to be around for another. They'll probably be around at the start of the next console generation and try and get that boost off of the console sales. But shortly after that, not so much.
Well, didn't they just come out and say that they've stopped trying to sell the company? Yeah, it's not.
They're trying to refocus their strategy, I guess, and try and. They got like a buyout or something a while ago, and they're trying to use that money to restructure to a different thing. So we'll see.
It was only $20 and
same thing, and didn't work out. So
it was only $20 in store credit. That's all they got.
They're like, we'll give you about $350.
They may not be around by next podcast. I know. The one podcast I was listening to, there's this, I guess maybe Walmart would buy them out and put them in Walmarts or something like that. Or
the rumor originally was that Amazon was going to buy them and use them on top of everything else. Like they would have GameStop as the store and keep them in business, and then be able to sell the used inventory and their new inventory that they already get on Amazon. So then it would sell on Amazon, could use that stock, and then they would work together, and you would be able to trade in games for Amazon store credit and then be able to use it wherever on Amazon. But that never happened. That was supposed to happen last June, and it never did. So I don't know if that's still a possibility, but
I honestly feel like that's their best move because
it would be. It would be like a GameStop Amazon.
Yeah, absolutely. And you think about their other options. I mean, I say they do merge with the Walmart. Walmart is nowhere near as big as Amazon.
Yeah.
I can't see them trying to merge with like. I don't know if they would be able to partner up with like a PlayStation or an Xbox. I don't think that's a possibility.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah.
But like that's the thing, like if you look at the way when Amazon bought Whole Foods, and now the way they're using Whole Foods as their thing, so like you can order Amazon Fresh and get Amazon groceries delivered to your house from Whole Foods. And then when you go shopping at Whole Foods, you get 20% off. You get an Amazon Prime member discount. You could do the same thing with GameStop, and you walk in, say you get 20% off your video game purchase, because then GameStop would be able to do that for video games, because then Amazon makes more money on something else. So it counteracts it. You'd be able to do that, which would be beneficial for everything. So hopefully, if something like that happens, that would be cool. But we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see with GameStop. I was going to say something, I just totally lost it. All right, well.
Is EB Games even still around, by the way?
I think it's in Canada.
Is it?
There used to be EB Games in the mall by us, by me. But
yeah.
I had a total sad moment this weekend just thinking of Toys R Us closing down, because they were kind of like a third option for like games and stuff like that.
That's why I got Red Ring of Death on my 360 on Thanksgiving Day. Next day, me and my dad went to Toys R Us and got a new 360.
Nice.
True story.
Awesome. I just got a notification from the thing we're using. We got unlimited recording right now, so I don't got to worry about our time limit. Well, I think we still had another like 10, 15
Did
minutes.
You pay for it?
No, I didn't. So
take it.
If it's free, it's for me.
Yeah. So remove that. That's nice. I may just pay for it if I'm obviously going to keep doing this. All right. Even though now we're kind of towards the end. All right. So what we got coming out in the next like 2-3 weeks here. I'm not sure where we're going to have the next podcast. Maybe in like another week or two. Definitely want to try to keep doing these more often, because I feel like there's a big gap between this one, but with nothing coming out in January, we kind of had to wait till the end of it.
Oh, we're in the dead zone.
Yeah. All right. So let's see. Next week, well, actually this week, games that came out. I may play the game Wargroove. That one just came out. Was it yesterday? Which is like the Advanced Wars games. It's like the spiritual successor. I don't know if either one of you guys played them back on Game Boy Advance back in the day.
Nope.
No.
Other than that, I don't think there's much else. There was Onimusha, another $20 game, which was a remake of an old PS2 game. You may try that, but
never even heard of it, to be honest with you.
Yeah. All right, so going forward, next week from February 4th to the 10th, not a whole bunch comes out. The Book of Unwritten Tales 2, Etrian Odyssey, Spike Volleyball, God Eater 3, which apparently are pretty good. I never played them, and Yokai Watch, which I don't think either one of you guys are playing any of them, are you?
No.
Mm-mm.
All right, so not until the 11th to the 17th that we start getting into some good games here. We have Jump Force, which is that big anime fighting game with Dragon Ball Z, I know Death Note, One Piece, which I may get. It looks interesting, but I'm not a huge anime fan. But
they were just showing off Yugi from Yu-Gi-Oh! On that too.
I didn't know he was in that. That's
I think they showed a clip of his gameplay style, and he summoned Slifer the dragon.
Oh, really?
Cool. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. That may have just sold me on that one. I was going back and forth. let's see, we got Civilization 6, which for the PC, which I don't think any of us are doing. Andrew's excited because on February 15th we got Crackdown 3. I'm excited too because obviously with Game Pass.
Xbox exclusive.
I did love the Crackdown series. I played 1 and 2. 2 was a little weird with the
That was actually the game I was gonna choose if I didn't pick Fable. Was Crackdown the first one?
Say if you picked Crackdown, I definitely would have still picked Star Fox.
Fable's the goat.
You hit my heart with Fable.
Every
So
time
you're
I
an Xbox boy now.
Every time I see Crackdown, though, I still think of when it launched, and it was with the Halo beta in it for Halo 3.
Yep.
And I still remember sitting on my old laptop, hitting F5, refreshing the page 100 times, trying to get into the Halo beta for free, and I did. So I never bought Crackdown. I never jumped into it because I got into it that way. But I've heard that the Crackdown, like I've played Crackdown 1, I've never played Crackdown 2, but it's definitely looks interesting. So I'm going to jump in.
Well, speaking of Halo 3, best game of all time, don't at me.
Oh, come on, man. That was cheap, dude.
Don't at me.
That was cheap.
Literally the goat.
Actually,
Andrew will not be joining us next podcast. We're gonna.
Oh man. Actually, Jim, I saw something that popped up I think earlier today. I think that I heard EA was going to ghost launch a battle royale on Monday. Did you hear about this?
Yes, Titanfall.
It's called Apex Legends, but it's a Titanfall battle royale. What do you think about that?
I was really I'm excited. I'm gonna try it. It's obviously free. No Titans though in it. That's the thing that I'm like.
It's all pilot interaction.
Imagine that.
Having
someone just walk up on someone in a Titan and you're just standing there. I guess it would be similar to the planes in Fortnite now. I mean,
or like the Thanos mode. At least give us one Titan, like that. Like you randomly spawns one person.
That'll probably happen if the game picks up. Considering though, probably not.
And Titanfall 2 was an amazing game that again got completely overshadowed by other games because of.
It did, but they picked the release date for that to be around Battlefield 1 and Call of Duty, which came out at the same time. Horrible marketing strategy, correct?
Oh yeah.
So they're pushing this out now. With I'm sure they're working on a Titanfall 3, but they're trying to push this out when they're trying to push out their own other battle royale in Battlefield 5.
That's right.
Also, with the release of Anthem, I feel like they're trying to push this out way too early when it should be released with Titanfall 3 if that comes out later in the holiday season or possibly early next year. I just feel like it's a bad strategy for them to be doing this at this time. Not that they're doing it, not that the fact that they're doing it, but there's a time and place. I feel like you shouldn't release your Battle Royale before your major title, possibly later in the year,
No, I agree. I was going to say, because you were mentioning if they're working on Titanfall 3. I mean, they may be. I know the guys who are making that are doing the new Star Wars game that did not get canceled.
Not yet.
What was that one? Like, I forget what they called that one. They announced it at E3 last year.
There's been too many Star Wars titles, man.
Well, there hasn't been enough from EA. They've only done 2 in the past, was it 8 years or whatever?
No, yeah.
And they just canceled the other one. So
what's the one coming out now? Black Order or some shit?
Jedi Fallen Order. I think that's it.
Jedi Fallen Order.
Yeah. And that one, I mean, hopefully it's good. Respawn, the guys who make Titanfall, they're making it. So I assume it's going to be like a first-person shooter or something like that, or heavy action adventure.
First-person lightsaber.
That'd be fun.
Yeah. I mean, I trust Respawn. I don't trust EA anymore, though.
No, I did read about that. They said they're going to bring the Kinect back, and you got to use the Kinect to.
Oh God! What was the song from the Star Wars Kinect game?
I'm Han Solo.
I'm Han Solo.
Yeah.
I still have my Kinect sitting here from my original Xbox One that I can't use.
R.I.P.
Xbox, record this.
Yeah, that's right.
My
Everybody.
brother used to come in all the time and be like, Xbox, turn off. And it would just, it would be like, are you sure you want to turn off the console? But no. My brother would be like, yes, yes.
All right, so that week we also have Far Cry New Dawn, which I do have Far Cry 5. Haven't finished it. Got it on sale for like $20 or something like that. This one's only a $40 one. Are either of you guys trying this or? Yeah.
After, because I loved Far Cry's. I didn't play the first or second one. I loved 3 through 5. The way they ended 5, just story wise, it just became too. And like what they're doing now, like I didn't realize what they were doing when how they ended Far Cry 5, which still kind of shook me weird. But now that they're going into this post-apocalyptic thing, it's just too cartoonish for me.
Well, that's what the New Dawn was supposed to be DLC for Far Cry 5.
Yeah.
And they ended up making it a separate game. That's why it's only $40.
Now I know Far Cry isn't the most realistic game ever, clearly, but it's just the whole post-apocalyptic thing for me. Some of the DLC that they released, they don't take themselves seriously, and that's cool. But they kind of go overboard with it. I'm sick of it.
Yeah.
I don't think I can get this one.
Yeah, I'm passing on this one because I feel like they're kind of copying Rage 2. I don't know if you guys.
Yeah, no, Jim, 100%. I didn't even think about that. Yeah.
And that's like, I mean, I'm not sold on Rage 2, but just looking at them, like with the Far Cry one, you know what you're getting with Far Cry. It's the same formula, just again, like, you know, just with different paint of code on it.
It's just
what could have been.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm probably going to pass on that one. I mean, unless the reviews come out and they're all, 10 out of 10s and people are raving. But I doubt it.
No, I doubt
it. And the same day, we have 3 all here on the 15th. Metro Exodus comes out too. And I know, Andrew, you were saying you think you may get this one?
Yeah, I mean, the trailers and gameplay I've seen for it looks great. The first 2 I couldn't really get into, but I think this one's going to be different. More, I think this one's open world. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I tried playing the first 2 because I couldn't, like, I wasn't that into it. So, like, they kept going on Game Pass or maybe PlayStation Network Plus or something like that.
Yeah, they're on there.
Yeah, and I never knew which one was the first one, so I know I played a little bit of both of them, but they weren't really for me. I was kind of hoping this would go on Game Pass because with Xbox's press conference last year, I wasn't sure if it was going to be an exclusive or I'm not sure about this one either.
I might. I'll probably wait, but I'll probably play it at some point.
They did announce, the developers, I think it was today, that depending on the sales on this one, they may not release it the next Metro for PC if they don't get enough sales.
Well, they're only releasing it on the Epic Games Store, too.
Yeah.
They're not releasing it on Steam. It's big controversy right now.
Yeah. Okay, and then the week after that is Anthem, which, I mean, we've talked about the beta here today.
It's a big no for me.
So I think I'll kind of draw the line there. I mean, I think we'll probably have the next podcast between like the 15th and the 22nd, which when Anthem comes out. That way we kind of get Crackdown 3 in there, Jump Force, what other games that come out that we play.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's it. Do you guys have anything else to add to this podcast? I think we've been going around for a little over an hour now, actually.
The only thing I'll add is an upcoming game I'm very much looking forward to. Division 2, which is private beta, starts next weekend. Big game coming up for me and big Division guy. So that private beta, so the next podcast, I'll probably be able to talk about that beta and how I liked it. And the other one coming out the next month after that is Days Gone for PlayStation, which I've been waiting for. So, we'll hopefully be able to talk about that more soon as well.
Yeah. Looking at the upcoming dates, we do not have much for this year announced so far.
Well, because, E3's the cornerstone of that.
I know, but we're definitely going into like a very
Going
slow
into the
season.
fall.
Yep. All right. Well,
Hold us over.
so I mean, Andrew's kind of answered it. Like he's playing those. Sean, you planning on playing anything coming up?
I'm definitely going to give the Anthem demo a try. Days Gone's also a game I'm really looking at getting. And then after that, I'm just looking forward to seeing what's coming, like what's going to be announced at E3. Even though PlayStation, Sony's not going to be representing there, but you're going to have other games coming out, and I can't wait to try those too.
Definitely. Yeah, I think I'm going to be playing like Kingdom Hearts. I'm going to officially, I think, complete Resident Evil. I just got to beat Leon's second story. I've done the other two. But I mean, it's kind of the same thing. I'm a little burned out, but I definitely want to push through and finish it.
Screw Sony for E3, by the way. Still think about that.
If you don't have anything coming out, what are you going to announce? You know what I mean? Why go?
Mm-hmm.
Well, 2 years in a row, they don't have anything to announce, really. Then.
Oh,
This guy.
he's just.
It pisses me off because it's for gamers. Like people take time out of their work schedules to go to California for this, and Sony just completely shit on everybody, and I don't respect them.
I feel like we could save this for next podcast, me and you.
I'm just saying, I'm hoping Sony announces that they're doing something the week before or the week after, which I mean would suck.
Oh, they're gonna wait for the week after. They're gonna wait and see what everyone else has to say, and then
they want everybody talking. Yeah, they want everybody talking about them, which I mean they're getting the headlines for, but they need to rethink. I mean, it seems like they're swinging back around on what is it called, like open play, where you can play anybody from any system, but they definitely need to change a little bit, or they're going to lose their market lead to Microsoft. If it could be the same thing going back.
It's gonna happen anyway.
I don't know. What they just announced, they sold 94 million units or something like that. But
Xbox One is in mediocrity right now.
Hey, the Nintendo Switch is outselling them all right now.
Yeah, I bet the Switch deserves. The Switch is crazy good.
All right. Well, I guess with that, we will end this podcast. I thank Sean and Andrew for joining me. I guess we'll all be back in like 2 weeks or so.
Yeah.
We had officially last on Spotify, we had 11 listeners, which I know 3 of us are sitting right here. But I don't know who those other 8 people were, but thank you for listening.
Spotify, so.
Yeah. We're trying to get it on iTunes. I got to check to see if it actually went up on there. But I'm definitely going to be promoting this video a little bit more. I'm going to put it on Facebook and stuff like that and, annoy people.
Hey, man, you got to harass people,
Yeah. All right. Thank you, guys.
All right.
Have a good weekend, everybody. Until next time.